for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
So he put his head down and, hit his financial goals, and then decided I need to start finding a buyer. And are we recording?
We are recording, but
okay.
It's
he wanted to find a buyer so he could transition out, but he didn't want to just shut down the business.
Yeah.
So he was looking for somebody to replace him. And we'd actually talked a year and a half ago or so, maybe even close to 2 years ago, and I wasn't really in the position to do anything at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So then I called him back this summer, and we started talking. We came to a good agreement on terms.
It's awesome.
So yeah.
Have you ever bought in a business before?
No, this is my first real business. You always try a few things, see if they can sell something online, but no, this is the first time. Yeah.
How long have you been doing inspections?
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What got you into it? What did you?
It's the funniest thing. I was doing accounting work.
Okay.
And we saw that the job was coming to an end. And my wife's like, you're really good at taking tests, and I used to have an insurance license like multiple times. And she said, why don't you? I saw where you can get a license to do home inspections, and they seem to make pretty good money. Why don't you look into that? So I looked into it, and I thought, yeah, I could take a test and pass it. Let me see what it is, what it entails. So of course, when I went through all that, I hadn't met David yet. So then when I went out with him and saw what he does, it was different. It was a little different than what I expected, but.
Well, it's almost summer. You're gonna be crawling through attics.
Yeah, they're already getting a little warm.
Yeah.
The fun part, the one time last summer when I was crawling through attics, in I think it was August maybe, one of them had, the trusses in the attic are usually wood,
right?
But there was one that was metal.
Ooh.
And it was 150 degrees in there, and I almost burned my hands. I had to go put gloves on to get up in the attic.
Spider-Man crawling through it.
Yeah. I've actually gotten pretty nimble. Yeah, so
it's a good core workout, right?
It really, you got to watch out for nails. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
You're wearing a mask so you don't inhale all those fibers. But the main thing is nails, and nails like above your back and your head, and then also maybe sticking out of the wood that you're about to step on. It's kind of, I try to look at it like if I was a kid, exploring somebody's attic.
It's like a playground.
It changes your mindset. It's not so.
It's like a playground in hell.
Yeah. I have to think that way, because then I don't dread it so much. And I'm like, let me see if I can find the secrets in this house. That's the fun part.
I'll never forget. I was maybe 17 or 18, and my dad, I still living at his house, and he made me install a security camera at the peak of the garage in the front of the house.
Okay.
And so I crawled up in there, and I'm like, okay, I had a Spider-Man crawl, and this is in the middle of August, July, August. Yep. And I was just sweating my balls off, and I'm like, I'm trying to drill a freaking hole through concrete, because the other side's concrete.
Yeah, and you have to push against something, so it's pushing you back, and you're probably balanced precariously.
And I'm like, I can never do this ever again.
I got trapped up in the attic with a wasp the other day. It was just up there flying around me, and I'm like, I have no weapon to hit this thing. If it comes after me, I'm done. Because there's nowhere to go.
Right.
Yeah.
What you could do? You gotta get a GoPro or something, and do video, YouTube videos crawling through.
I've thought about that. There's a guy who has a really successful channel who does that, and I've thought about doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be.
I actually have one, but it's kind of an old cheap one. I need to get a decent.
It'd be interesting. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to see what's going on up there in some of those places.
That's true.
Or down in the crawl spaces too. Those are it's like a third world country down there.
That's one of those places that I do. I can't gaslight myself into thinking, hey, this is fun. Yeah, it's not.
It's not fun.
It's not as hot down there. I will say that. The attic is much hotter.
Yeah.
It's cooler down there.
You're definitely, you get what you pay for.
I saw a spider almost this big, and it was kind of like yellowish green. And I'm like, I don't recognize that spider. Long legs. And I'm like, no.
No, I'm out of here.
No. I don't.
All right, let's introduce you to the camera here. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm Ian Reinhardt, broker of Royal Realty, and today we're with David Stone, the owner and inspector at Budget Services Inspections.
Budget Inspection Services, yeah.
Budget Inspection Services. And let's see, what's some good questions? So let's talk about a 4-point inspection. So every buyer doesn't necessarily need a 4-point inspection. That's more for insurance, right?
Right.
Okay, what do you recommend every buyer get?
Well, the package that I see most of the time is a home inspection, which you got to get that because you need to know what's going on with the house. I mean, there is no such thing as a perfect house, but you want to find out what you're getting into. And so a home inspection, obviously, and then a 4-point and a wind mitigation are two insurance reports that are going to be most likely required by the mortgage company and the insurance company once you're about to close the deal so that they can show that the house is insured. Most insurance companies will not insure the house until they've got those reports in their hands. So most of the time I've had people say, well, let me get a 4-point, but I don't need the wind mitigation. And I go ahead and do it anyway and take the pictures,
Right.
because usually in about a couple of weeks they're going to call me and
They
say,
come back.
yeah, we need the wind mitigation.
We actually
well,
need
that's
it.
great. I actually have it. So,
Perfect.
it's fine. I'll go ahead and send it to you.
Nice.
So most of the time, a WDO is another one that's a good one to have. It's not always necessary. There are most homes that around here are masonry built homes, and it's unlikely you're going to have termite issues. But if you've got trees hanging down touching the roof, and you've got a lot of mud and maybe some straw and a lot of shrubbery around there, you might want to have a WDO. That's where I just check for termites, and I'll tap out on the inside of the house, tap the baseboards, and we'll check the attic and make sure that you don't have any damage. It's something you want to know because they may not be there at the time of the inspection, but we can see if they've been there. I can find things like damage to the wood in the attic, and I can find things like termite wings. And that'll at least let you know, hey, we need to treat the house because they've been there. So if they swarm,